Welcome back, everyone. This is Mr. Brain, your friendly neighborhood gaming dad, here with another video breaking down one of the most common events you're going to see here in Doomsday, that being the Top Commander event. Many of you have already gone through these, and many of you know how the event itself works, so I won't spend too much time on that. What I'm going to focus on today is ways that you can maximize your points in each of the different days of the event, as well as what I feel you need to do individually and as a group in order to make sure that everybody benefits from this event. First things first, I'm going to go into exactly what I mean by that last part. Now, we're currently working on who's going to get our ranks in Top Commander this time around, but our region actually sets the rankings for Top Commander now that we've all been kind of settled into our roles. With this particular Top Commander event coming up being solely Rider Commanders, we're going to be focusing on making sure that our Rider primaries have this commander as needed, so that they can be a little bit more beneficial in the field, and making sure that our counter rally commanders also have him in order to see if he's actually going to be able to fill out that role. But what we do personally is we section out 15 ranks, which usually the top 15 gets access to the commander. There's at minimum 10 relics for the top 15, so simply placing in this system allows you to get that commander. And we also have point limits. Let's see if I can find you an example of this. This is one we had from immediately after Island. We only had 3 people that still had the resources and capabilities to get the commanders. I believe this was for Thunder, and a lot of us already have him or have him maxed out. The only reason I wasn't up here is because I already have him awakened. But other commanders, other people may not have had him fully awakened and didn't want to spend the additional money, so they decided to rank. Normally this list is 15 long and usually ranks between 35 million and 65 million, if I'm correct. 65 to 80 million depending on how we work out. No one else is allowed to get over 35 million points. And that 35 million points is plenty of points for people to be able to max out their rewards for each of the day's events without going over. It's not difficult to do. And the way we run it, so long as you participate, you can ask for a ranking. My tiny 52 million power being pretty low on the list as far as our region is concerned, I've been able to ask for Top Commander rankings and get them as needed. I believe I've only asked for 2 so far, and they were both Thunder. And thanks to that, I've been able to awaken him. So, without further ado, let's get into each of the day's events. I believe it doesn't look as if they're going to show me what each of the days here, so I can't show you from that perspective, but I do remember them off the top of my head for the most part. First day is research and construction speed ups. Now, it doesn't matter how much might you get. It doesn't matter what buildings you upgrade. It only matters the amount of these speed ups that you use towards research or construction. Universal speed ups do count. So if you use universals for construction or for research, it counts towards the total for getting those points. And it's fairly straightforward. Each minute of speed ups gets you a certain amount of points. So if you've been stockpiling speed ups for this, go ahead and do it. The secondary event for that day is killing Hive Minds. So you should have an auto rally up at all times. And while that's auto rallying, you should be joining other people's lower rallies. I personally set my auto rallies to level 5s so that I can get the most rewards whenever I am logged off for an period of time, 4, 5, and 6, a lot of times I'll just turn the 4 off. But chances are, while I'm offline, someone's running level 5 rallies. It'll pop mine in. I get some points. While you're online, join people's rallies. Not hard to do. Day 2 is the money spending event. Day 2 and 3 both have resource gathering as their secondary event, so you can do that and plan ahead for it. So everyone has one of these for their alliance. You can have gatherers get to this alliance center, gather as much as they possibly can, and then have them sit outside of your city, provided you've gotten all your points for rallying Hive Minds, and have them sit outside your city until day 2 starts. Once day 2 starts, you can have 3, 4, 5 marches full of gathering and walk them in. And that's easy points. If you have the gems to spend on roulette day, which is the primary event, roulette spins get you a lot more points. So if you have gems to spend and it's a hero that you want, go ahead and get that hero. There are some heroes that I wouldn't spend on, but I can talk about those in separate videos. Just spend your gem for day 2, spend your gems on the roulette, gather. Day 3, like I said, also has the secondary event gathering, so having them sit outside your city is pointless unless you've already gotten max rewards from the day before. If you already have done that, then you can use that trick again and have your gatherers sit outside until day 3 starts, and then walk them in. Day 3 is also training speed up day. Again, this doesn't care about the type of troops that you make or the amount of troops that you make. It only cares about the time that you have sped up. Skipping ahead to day 5 actually cares about the types of troops that you make. For example, if I remember off the top of my head, Tier 3 troops are worth 20 points, Tier 4 troops are worth 40 points, and Tier 5 troops are worth 80 points. I believe Tier 6 is worth double that. Don't quote me on that. I don't have it on hand. I believe I have it saved somewhere. I will correct myself in the comments if no one else does that for me. But since most people are going to be dealing with these tier of troops, my suggestion is that for day 3, to build 1 tier less than what you already have. If you see, it's about a 6-hour difference between making tier 4 and tier 5, and the case is pretty much the same for between 3 and 4. It's only a few hours difference making each of these tiers, but you're still getting the same amount of points for speed ups. So what you can do is make the tier of troop lower than what you can make, and then on day 5, upgrade. Upgrading from tier 4 to tier 5 uses the resource difference and the time difference between the tiers that you're trying to make. However, considering this was worth 40 points and this was worth 80 points, it's a 40-point difference between these two. So for the first day, I'm getting 20 hours worth of points for speeding up 1,600 troops. But for upgrading those troops, I only need 5 hours of troops to make 40 points each. Hopefully that makes sense to you all. In my experience, upgrading troops on day 5 is a lot more efficient, and considering it doesn't matter what you make on on day 3, take this tier, take 1 tier lower, speed up a bunch of those troops, and then on day 5, upgrade them and max out your points that way. Day 4, I believe, is Hero Day. Hero Day is essentially you are searching and upgrading heroes. This is the day you've been saving up, hopefully, these search maps and advanced search maps so that you can dump them all at once. It's worth quite a few points to hold on to them. There are plenty of conspiracies out there saying that you actually get better rewards for holding on to them. I personally don't believe in them. However, I do hold on to them in order to get the most points out of them. So, on that day, you're searching for everything. You're also going through and upgrading all of the heroes that you may have held on to. I've got a couple levels in Thunder I can put in. I've got plenty of experience I can throw in Catherine now. I've got Maxine that I'm planning on upgrading next so that I can have her maxed gathering tree. Only gold commanders gathering. And any additional experience I will throw into other commanders that I don't have maxed out. But this is the day you use all of your stars, all of your fragments that you may have. I believe I have an adult skill upgrade that's waiting for me. This does also apply to purple commanders to a lesser extent. So if you have any that have been waiting for a rank up for whatever reason, then's the time to do it. Pretty straightforward day. Hopefully you've been saving up some items for these. If not, you can save them up for the next time. I would also personally save up more than one cycle's items at a time. It makes it a lot easier to get that rank if you ask for it. Like, personally, if you know that you really want access to Jonathan, don't know why, but if you really want access to Jonathan, allow your big spenders to have him the first time around, and then go ahead and start asking for a rank for the next one. You can save up the items that you're not using for the next 2 weeks and use them to get your points that you need for rank the next time. At least in our group, if you're willing to give up your spot for one setup and then ask for one for the next one, they've been more than willing to allow that. Thunder had 3 phases. I asked for the first and the third. I didn't ask for the second one. That gave other people a chance to get Thunder without me having to step on their toes. Now, day 5 is the training might day, but it is also zombie killing day. Because training troops can be costly if you've used all of your speed ups in day 3, you can make up the difference by killing zombies. Very easy to do. It's also very helpful when that day lines up with other events such as Russell's. I'm not sure I don't think it was the last one, but the one before that had Russell event line up with another event for killing zombies. Basically, we had 3 events that were giving rewards for killing zombies. Always great. Actually, believe that cleanup day is exactly what that is. Kill zombies to earn alliance points, and that's on Thursday. 1, 2, 3, 4, and day 5. There you go. You get points for killing zombies other than for top commander. Always great. I believe Great Hunter also gives the arrows for it. I'm not entirely sure. Personally don't like Great Hunter. However, it's there. Day 6 is the fun one, and it's usually where people make up a lot of their difference in points. It is Kill Event. And it's just Kill Event. You get maximum amount of points for killing enemies on this day. A lot of regions have rules on this. Ours personally, if your troops are out on the field for any reason, they're fair game. Even if they're just marching from point A to point B. Even if they're killing Hive Minds. Doesn't matter. They're on the field, it's fair game. We limit that to Kill Event on Friday and Saturday, and that's it. So, if you're going to farm farm in your alliance resource node. If you're going to do Hive Minds, make sure that you're watching for anyone that might be out there and bringing a full set of troops so that you can fight back if someone decides to come and hit you. Just, if you're going to participate, go say hi to other alliances, even weaker ones. Go just sit in their farms. Personally, one of my favorite things to do is have a Rygoro Thunder go sit in. I like to come down here to low, and I will sit in one of their farms, and I will gather with a... No, not relocate, you idiot. I'll come down here with a Thunder Rygoro, and they'll see it, they'll set up on it, and they'll attack it with 3 to 4 marches at a time. I won't win those, but the points that I get far more than make up for it. That's my personal tactic. If you focus on riders, you can actually bounce around to different farms such as this one and kill them before they ever have a chance to catch up to you. If you're ranged, I don't really know how to help you there. You're not particularly fast and you're not particularly tanky, so you can get to an enemy and you can kill them, but gathering troops tend to be faster than you, so you have to sneak up on them. But they'll be dead before they have a chance to log on. So you have that going for you. The last day is interesting because on the last day you get points for doing everything. The primary objective, most of the primary objectives, because roulette is gone by then. The primary objectives throughout the week will continue to give you points on the last day at a lower rate. I believe someone told me it was 80%, which is much higher than it was when I first started out. But even so, getting points on the final day should not be difficult because you can literally just do anything in the game and it'll get you points. If you've got extra speed ups for research and construction, use them. If you got troop training that you can do it. If you want to go kill zombies, go kill zombies. Hive Minds also give points on this day. Basically anything that you can think of outside of the events like searching and using hero fragments, stuff like that, is going to give you points. So check the event, see what you get points for, see what you can throw points at. Also, killing is still allowed on the final day. It gives points. So a lot of people still consider that kill event. We do. So for those 2 days, we treat the final day as the same as the first day. And with that, I believe that's the basics of how you can get the most points. Remember, I would work with your region to try and get a system set up where there's a ranking system for who can get different ranks. Not only does this allow everyone to have a pretty fair chance at getting commanders that they want and or need, this also keeps the entire region more cohesive, because if everybody is just fighting for these commanders, the only people that are going to get them to start out are your spenders. And then you have to wait for them to come around again for you to even have a chance. And that can be very demoralizing for not only you, but your entire alliance. So, me personally knowing that if another infantry commander comes up, I can ask for it without a lot of issue, makes me feel like I'm valued in my region and my alliance. And I know that there are other people that feel the same way. So, work towards getting that system in place. Understand what each of the days are and how they get you points, and know that getting high ranks in this is going to require you to save in order to get max points. Because it's, as you can see, we've done a good job of limiting things for the last few months to a certain point cap total that's very manageable for even our lower spenders. It's not difficult to get to these, in my opinion, and knowing that we have an entire region that's backing us up on all this is very great. Like, even my measly power is able to get 69 million points if I needed to. This one only needed me to get to 50 in order to get my rank. With that, this is Mr. Brain, your friendly neighborhood gaming dad, signing